Welcome to From the Stands, your one-stop shop podcast for insider access and in-depth interviews with your favorite Billiken coaches and players. Be sure to follow the show on Twitter at Billiken Podcast for the latest news on future episodes. Now, here is your host, Billiken Athletic Director, Chris May.
Welcome back, Billiken fans, to From the Stands, where our podcast, we talk Billiken basketball, Billiken sports. Today we've got one of our men's basketball transfers with us, Trey Green. Trey came to us from Xavier. Trey, first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
How's it going?
Going good.
So far, so good?
Everything is great. Excited to be here.
Hometown, Charlotte?
Yes, sir.
St. Louis, Charlotte?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Around the same. It's a good feeling in St. Louis. Kind of giving me Charlotte vibes a little bit. Kind of just the atmosphere around. The weather is different. I'm still adjusting, but
right.
It's good so far.
So, spent a couple years at Xavier, go into the portal. As Coach Schertz shared with me, and as we spoke on your visit, immediately had interest. He watched you play a bunch in EYBL.
For sure.
What did you know about Coach Schertz back then?
Back then, I didn't really know a lot at the time. We kind of had little conversations, especially going into my freshman year of college.
Right.
It's kind of really when I hit the portal where we kind of built that relationship, and we connected ever since. So.
And what has been your first impression? You've been on the court a couple weeks. Tell Billiken Nation the first impression of Billiken basketball and what this looks like and feels like.
It's fun. It's a new way of learning. You get taught the game of basketball versus just a system. And that goes a long way, especially when you want to play this game at a high level. Right. Knowing ways to play the game the right way, offense and defense. It's definitely a learning curve that I'm going through because I haven't played this way before. But it's exciting and it's fun.
So you said that just for Coach Schertz, if he's watching. You mentioned defense,
yeah.
Right? As everybody talks about his offense, but as he will share, defense starts the whole deal, right?
100%.
What have you had to learn in a short period of time in playing this different way?
Really, again, I'll go back to it, just the play style, playing basketball. There's a lot of reads and a lot of things that you have to get down pat on the offensive end. And the same goes for defense. But knowing what those reads are and how to react to them, those are the kind of things that I'm learning as a new player and a newcomer on the team. Just play the game, don't think. Those are kind of the main things, though, for sure.
So how do you play the game and not think? That sounds easy,
Yeah,
but that
it does.
can't be easy.
It's not.
How do you do that?
Repetition, film. Just be a sponge to the game, be a sponge to the system. I'm doing a lot of film work with ZB, Coach Schertz, PG. Those guys are helping hands to the development piece to it. But it's more than just doing it on the court. There's a lot of studying you have to do off the court, and that's just as important as stepping out there and playing hard. So.
What have you enjoyed the most in a short period of time about playing this way? What's it do for your game?
Yeah, it allows me to play my game a lot freely, just because quite candidly, I like to score. So. This offense is designed for scores, and if you have a knack for putting the ball in the hole, then you can find a way to fit in this system. Also, there are guys on this team who have the same type of knack, but I can't say anyone on this team is selfish. Everybody finds their role and finds their place, and they gel with each other pretty good. But those are the main things, kind of. Yeah.
What's fascinating about the system is it's really set up to help everybody get their shots.
100%.
Right? And so if you have a bunch of people that can score, it actually lends to helping everybody get those shots.
Everybody eats, for sure.
Okay, how about eliminating the mid-range? How's that going?
It's definitely something to adjust to when you got, you shooting it so many times, and Coach Schertz just one practice just says, you know what, it's 0 points. 0 points.
I saw that.
And it's like, you just got to learn and adjust to it on the spot. But when they break it down to you and everything like that, it makes a lot of sense. It's not a very high percentage shot, especially when, it's so heavily contested.
Right.
The 3 points are worth more, and those are what we hunt a lot of times. And if you adjust to that, you can adjust to the system for sure.
So we talk about hunting threes. Share with the Billikens what hunting threes is.
Really not trying to search for the three, basically kind of forcing it.
That's right.
Versus knowing when the three is available and maximizing the opportunity. Like there's been multiple times, learning the offense, and it's week 2, it's going to take time, but I passed up some threes in practice where I'm like, I'm not used to, shooting those threes, but those are threes that they want you to take. So, just knowing when those opportunities are there and maximizing on them for sure.
And so you like to score. How do you adjust your game to go into the hole and shooting the threes and maximizing those two pieces, which might be a little different than the way you've played in the past?
Definitely. I'll go back to it, the film. That has opened a lot of eyes for me. Because
have you done more film this summer than typical than you have before?
100%. And, I'll give full credit to Coach Schertz and ZB and those guys because they have opened my eyes to watching film. You can see a lot of different things, when to attack the basket, when to shoot the three, when to pass it up earlier, when to wait, pause, hold on a little second, just the different reads that you have in the offense, and knowing when they are, and you watch it on film and you're going to be put in those situations again. So just knowing when you're in those situations, what to do helps a lot.
So point guard, shooting guard, all of the above. If you could design exactly where you want to be, where and what is it?
Man, honestly, I would really say just all around player, especially with Coach Schertz's system. You're not going to see a lot of the same guy bringing the ball up the court. There's a lot. You'll have Robbie bringing the ball up the court. You'll have Kalu. You might even see Paul bringing the ball up the court from times. But it's just how the offense is. We want to play fast. We want to play hard. We want to play physical. So that's kind of designed for, our team. There's not really guys that's one position. There's positionless guys that's on the court. So that makes it fun being in the system.
So how big a difference is that for you, though? You've played a lot of basketball in your game. How different is it for you to go down court and watch your 6'10", 5 bringing the ball down? That has to be a different feel.
It is. It's an adjustment. But when you have a player like Robbie who, has the ability to pass and ability to play the game the way he does, and the luxury of being in the system for a good amount of years, playing under Coach Schertz, you learn to adjust to it. Right. Robbie is not a selfish player. No one on the team is a selfish player. So, at the end of the day, eventually you're going to get the ball. Just what can you do with it? How can you make a play for not just yourself, but your teammates also? So
what should the Billiken fans look for when they come see? We're going to have an open practice here in the next month. What should they look for in Trey?
Trey, I would say a hard playing, fast pace, physical guard who can score the ball, but also likes getting his teammates involved, for sure.
Anything about your shoe game? Should they? I noticed you got a little shoe game.
Yeah, I got a little shoe game, but I like to leave that up to the fans to decide.
Okay,
I got that luxury.
I had on camera. I had to ask the question.
For sure.
St. Louis. What have you learned about St. Louis? You got any go-to places yet?
Not yet. I'm kind of just filling the area out right now a little bit. I've been a little bit downtown, midtown is where campus is,
right.
But I've been to the Cardinals game.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun to just be in that environment.
Right.
So I'm just kind of just feeling my way out right now.
Food?
It's
Any food go-tos yet? Paul had Pappy's. Paul had the ribs at Pappy's.
That's a good one. I can't really say right now.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. I want to get put on to new spots and just, I want to feel like St. Louis food. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of waiting for somebody to give me that.
You can't find better. You can't find better. There's a lot of great places in our city. Last question, taking care of your body and working out. You've already got a workout in this morning, got shots up. How have you learned how to really take care of your body to maximize your game?
Really just listen to the nutritionists here. They have put in our ears, it's taking care of your body is as important off the court and off the weight room as it is, or in the weight room as it is off, You know, the things you eat, the things you put into your body, those are things that also help with, you know, recovery. So just listening to them, trying to, you know, do as much as I can to gain the weight that I need to gain. But they have been a real helping hand on, you know, the information, which is key.
That's good to hear, because that's what it's all about, right? How do we help you learn the intake when you're playing at a high level to take care of your body, so you can make those shots.
100%.
Not the mid-range, you make the threes.
Yep.
Okay, who are you picking in the series?
I want OKC to win. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a Shea fan.
My question is, who are you picking?
I know.
I didn't say who you hoped. Who are you picking?
I'm picking OKC.
Okay.
Last night, I know it was a rough night for them, but, you know, I think they have a chance to, you know, win in the series with, you know, Shea and those guys over there. So I'm hoping OKC can pull through.
What I really enjoy is listening to you guys talk about it, because everybody's locked in.
Oh, yes.
Everybody's locked into all these
yes.
games because it's the highest level of basketball, and that's where we're trying to get to in college, right?
100%.
How do we help you all emulate that? And so when I hear you talking about nutrition, when I hear you talking about getting extra shots off this morning, that's what it's about.
100%.
And as Josh talks about, championships are won between now and October. It's the whole deal, right? And so we couldn't be more proud to have you here and getting after it. Anything else you want to share with the Billiken faithful as we wind it down?
Man, I'm just thankful to be here, blessed to be here, but hope you guys can, you know, have fun at the games and watch us play.
So Billiken fans, that's Trey Green. You're going to love watching him play, and we couldn't be more thrilled to have Trey and the guys here working out this summer. So until we do it again, thank you, Bills, and we'll see you soon. Go Bills.
Thanks for listening to From the Stands with Billiken Athletic Director Chris May. Subscribe to our podcast in the iTunes Store and have the latest episodes sent straight to your phone. Go Billikens!